It is that time of the year again where I have to be honest and I have to admit my terrible purchases of the year, along with my best purchases as well. This video is also in collaboration with IDYL, so I'm going to give you a little update on how I've been loving my jewellery from them. These are not in any particular order because I just couldn't quite figure out what my absolute favourite was. I love them all equally, and also the worst purchases are kind of equally as bad as one another as well, unfortunately. So I'm just going to be picking and choosing as we go, and I'm going to start with a bag which is just beside me, which I actually don't think I've really fully introduced on my channel yet. This is a little bit cheeky because I don't know if a bag I purchased at the end of November should really be making its way into a best purchases of 2024 video, considering I've had it for less than a month now. However, in my defense, this bag was on my wish list since August. So that's what, 4 months? And I managed to track this bag down on Vinted, which if you saw my Vinted video where I was talking all about my best secondhand purchases and my tips for shopping secondhand, I think I said at the end of that video that I really was determined to find this bag secondhand, and I honestly did not think it was going to happen. But one day I logged onto Vinted and there one was. And the even better, crazier thing was, it wasn't at a higher price than retail. It was actually a little bit less than the price on the Madewell website, which is kind of crazy because this bag is sold out. It's on pre-order. I think now if you order it, it will come in February, which just feels like ages away. So I was really chuffed that I managed to get this within a few days. One of the reasons I'm so happy with this purchase is because if you remember at the very beginning of the year, I had the infamous Ro Margot bag on my wish list, and I had no right, honestly, putting that bag on my wish list in the first place, because I certainly don't earn Ro Margot money. However, I'm very glad that I actually ended up discovering this bag, because way at the beginning of the year, there weren't really any good alternatives to the Margot, and I think that's why it was actually on my wish list when I usually wouldn't ever put something that expensive on my wish list. I figured there just wasn't a good alternative until this bag came along. I don't know actually when this came out, whether it came out before or after, but I certainly only discovered it in the summer this year. And I feel like this is an amazing alternative to the Ro Margot, and it's what, about a 1/12 of the price, about 8% of the price of the Margot, and honestly I think it's just as beautiful. Back in January, as I said, there weren't really any alternatives and there weren't even really any dupes, but that is definitely not the case now. 12 months later in December, I see this bag duped on Amazon from 100 different sellers, and I don't know about you, I don't know if this should happen, but it definitely does. It just instantly turns me off a more premium item when there are so many copies of it lying about on Amazon, Shein, Temu. It happens with a lot of other designer bags as well. I don't know, there's certain styles I find, like the Dior book tote, a lot of Marc Jacobs bags as well. I feel like when you go on holiday and you see all the fake bags, there are certain styles that they tend to dupe a lot, and I feel like the Ro Margot is Amazon's dupe of the year. I feel like everyone has a Ro Margot dupe from Amazon, and if that's what the direction you want to go in, and also if that's what your budget allows, go for it. I'm not saying you shouldn't buy those. I personally just don't, I've never seen one that looks good quality to me. I'm not saying they don't exist. However, I just would rather go for something mid-range that isn't going to get duped. Although it is a similar design, I don't really feel like, I don't really feel like this is going to get duped. So I actually have seen a dupe of this one from a brand now I think about it. But either way, I love this bag. I think it's so gorgeous and I'm so happy that I bought this, and I know this will be a favourite going into 2025 as well. I feel like I talked about one bag for a long time. This could be a very long video. I'm going to talk about a worst purchase. We're going to go best, worst, best, worst. And it is this top from Reformation that I bought back in the spring. This is a viscose, 100% viscose blouse, and I fell in love with the design of this. I saw the dress version on my friend Victoria. She looked so good in it. Loved the polka dot, so I bought the top version, and it wasn't cheap. It was like £160 or something from Reformation, and honestly I am full of regret because this has shrunk. As soon as I hand washed this, it shrunk by, I would say, at least one size. I can put this on now, but it just doesn't fit the same. It's a little bit tight in the arms, it's a little bit too short, and I'm just absolutely gutted because I only got a few wears from it before I washed it. Now, in its defense, it does say on the label dry clean only, so I really only have myself to blame. However, I'm just like, I'm done with these brands that are saying that a top that I would just wear casually has to be dry cleaned. I mean, who is honestly dry cleaning all of their blouses? please, if you are, let me know down below, because I just think that is ridiculous. And honestly, it's made me realize that I don't want to be buying anything that is dry clean only. There are things that say they're dry clean only that actually you can hand wash completely fine, but there are certain materials, and I think viscose is one of them, that just are notorious for shrinking. And honestly, I think I'm going to be avoiding viscose from now on, because A, it doesn't even feel very nice. I really hate that crepey feel of this material. It's just, it feels a little bit cheap, and if it's going to shrink at the same time, then what are the benefits of buying it? I don't see any. So I'm going to be avoiding viscose. I have a cotton blouse from Reformation, which on the other hand, I do love. So it really is the materials, I think, that I need to be more careful with and more considered with. So yeah, viscose is a no-go for me in 2025, and I'm very sad about this top. Before we move on to the next best purchase, I want to talk to you about my IDYL jewellery. If you've never heard of IDYL, they are a lab diamond jewellery company. They hand make all of their pieces in Antwerp, in Belgium, and they use only the finest materials. We're talking solid gold, 14 karat yellow gold, white gold, and rose gold options, and lab diamonds. And if you don't know what lab diamonds are, they are not fake diamonds, as many people believe. They are chemically and physically identical to mined diamonds, but they are less expensive. And they are also more ethical because they don't have to be manually mined from the ground. If I had to pick a favorite piece that they sent me, it would definitely be the ear cuff. This is made up of 22 individual diamonds all the way around. I got mine in the solid white gold, but it also comes in the other gold options as well. And I just feel like it adds so much to my ear stack. I don't have any other piercings, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm too scared to get more piercings. I just remember when I got my ears pierced when I was about 8, it being incredibly painful. And I don't really want to put myself through that again, especially because the healing process as well. I would much rather buy something like this and just be able to take it on and off as I please. But it's also really secure. This has never fallen off on me. Let me show you how it comes off. So you literally can just pull it off like so, and then you can just slip it back onto your ear like that, and it stays there all day. I've been really enjoying mixing metals this year, so I do have a couple of the white gold pieces. This is a gorgeous necklace in a Marquise diamond. All of IDYL's pieces are modular by design, which just means that you have to make a one-off purchase of, say, the diamond studs, for example, and from there you can purchase different add-ons to create different looks. One of my other favorites is the first piece I ever received from IDYL, and it's the Lena necklace. I believe it's one of their best sellers. It's a row of 6 lab diamonds on a yellow gold chain. You can also get it in the white gold and the rose gold, I think, as well. It is such a beautiful piece for every day. It adds a little bit of glam to day-to-day outfits. The best part about today's video is I do have a discount code with IDYL as well, so I will leave that on screen. You can use that to get 10% off your order. And if that wasn't enough, they have just launched their loyalty program, which allows you to collect points with every order you place. So if you do want to place your first order, you can use my discount code, get 10% off, and start accruing points, which will equate to cash money off your next purchase. Thank you to IDYL for sponsoring this portion of the video. Let's get back to my best and worst purchases. Let's talk about knitwear now, because I have one best purchase in the knitwear category and one worst purchase. My best purchase has to be my Alex Mill burgundy jumper. It's the jumper I have worn the most this autumn winter, and I just absolutely love this. Absolutely no regrets buying this, even though it was definitely a more expensive piece. I've just realized that I value pieces that are high quality, small brand focused so much more, and this is just so luxurious feeling. I just love it. I think the color is perfect. There are so many different tones of burgundy, and this is just my dream color. I love that it's a roll neck. It's 100% cashmere. It's slightly oversized, but still really flattering. It has a slightly boxy fit. It's slightly cropped. It's not cropped, but slightly shorter. So there isn't too much material to tuck in, and it's a really nice medium weight thickness, being cashmere. I've worn this so much, I've lost count, and I have hand washed this a couple of times, and it has come out perfect, looking just as good as new. So it does prove that certain materials are much better and much easier to take care of. Even if you're being delicate and hand washing everything, than other items like the viscose blouse. This is actually my worst knitwear purchase of the year, even though I'm wearing it, but I want to get my wear out of it, even though it is my worst purchase. And it is simply my worst purchase because of the fit. I love the colour, I love the material. This is cashmere as well, although I will say it does feel a little bit different in quality to the Alex Mill, but that's because they're different price points. This is from And Other Stories. This was definitely not as expensive as the Alex Mill. You can definitely tell that. It is a soft, nice cashmere, but it doesn't feel as luxurious. But my main issue with it is the fit. It's a very weird fit, and I bought this in store without trying it on, which was a red flag, first of all. I never do that, and I almost always regret things that I buy that way. Because when I buy something in store, I really need to try it on. And if I don't, if I think, I just kind of held it up, and it's a jumper, I think it's gonna fit, I'll get it in a size medium. I almost always get my knitwear in a size medium. It'll be fine. It looked fine on the hanger. Again, I really loved the colour. And then I got it home and I tried it on, and I was like, the fit is not great. If I'd have tried this on in the changing room, would I have bought it? Would I have gone to the till and bought it? No. But now I have it in my home and I have to drive into town and return this. Do I want to do that? No. So my lesson with this purchase is A, don't buy things in store without trying them on, and B, if it's not a 1000% yes, it has to be a no. It's very tight, that's what I'm talking about. It's like a weirdly tight jumper. You can kind of tell in the arms, like it's very form-fitting, which is not what I wanted it for. I'm not saying it's a bad jumper, I just didn't realise at the time I bought it how tight it was going to be. So yeah, this is definitely a regret purchase, but I'm keeping it for now. I was debating selling it, but I don't think I would get back much of the money I spent, because And Other Stories is not a brand that typically goes for, it doesn't really hold its value very well, so I'm going to keep it for now, but definitely a regret purchase. Okay, in more positive news, let's talk about a best purchase, and it has to be my Totem brown wool coat. This is another piece actually similar to the suede brown bag that was on my wish list for a good while. This was actually on my wish list in January 2024, no, February. I think I made a Substack post about some things I was lusting after, and I only realised looking back that this coat was on there, and then I ended up finding it secondhand, what, 8 months, 9 months later. So it does go to show, if you wait for things, if you wish list and wait, did I say that right? Wish list and wait, it usually does pay off, and you usually end up loving the piece, especially when you find a second hand for a bargain. So I wanted this for 9 months. I didn't think I was going to buy it because it was out of my budget. It's Totem. I think it retails for £1,000 new. It is an old season piece, so I think it was quite hard to find new anyway. But I managed to find this on Vestiaire Collective for about £200. It had only been worn once, if ever, to be honest. It was as good as new, and I'm so glad I bought it. The reason I love this, even though if you've seen my coat and jacket collection, you'll know I have probably about 5 or 6 wool coats, is because this one is almost full length. All of the other wool coats I have are more of like a mid-calf length, which is fine, but I wanted something a little bit more dramatic. I wanted something a little bit warmer that covered me from head to toe, and this does that perfectly. I'm so happy with it. I also love the colour, and the quality is lovely. I mean, I wouldn't spend £1,000 on it, but again, if you're looking secondhand, I think Totem is a great brand to look for because you can get some real bargains. I feel like it kind of does hold its value, but not to the extent that you're going to have to be paying full price for it. So really chuffed with this one. Definitely my best outerwear purchase of 2024. We have another bag now, and it is a worse purchase, and this pains me. This pains me like all of the worst purchases do, but this one really pains me because it was so expensive. And can you guess what it is from the box? I don't know why it's in the box, by the way. I think I was thinking about selling this, and then I couldn't bring myself to sell it because I do love it. It's very pretty, but it is definitely my worst bag purchase of the year, and unfortunately it is my Polene numero 10. Now I guess this is an example of a wish list and wait item that didn't pay off, because this has been on my wish list for 2 years, and I finally bought it when I saw they'd released it in a burgundy shade, because it really spoke to me. I could never quite decide on the colour, which is one of the reasons I'd never bought this bag. I was like, do I buy the black one? Do I buy the brown one? Not sure. I've already got a black bag I like. I've already got a brown bag I like. I mean, I already have a burgundy bag I like, but let's ignore that. But when I saw this shade, I couldn't resist. Oh my God, I've just noticed it's got a massive dent in it. I don't know if that's from storing it, but ugh, can you see that? Ah, you can see that on camera as well. Oh my God, that's gutting. Okay, oops. I don't even know what has caused that, but I just feel like this leather is, I don't know what it is. It's like very delicate, but also not very luxurious feeling. Sometimes I think I don't mind a very delicate leather if it feels very luxurious. A little bit like suede, right? Like this is delicate, this is a little bit impractical, but it feels so nice. You can see that texture on it, it moves. It just, I already did get a tiny stain on this. I don't even know what it was. But you know, suede, you have to baby it. But I understand that and I appreciate it for what it is. Whereas this leather doesn't feel particularly luxurious, but it seems to just mark and dent so easily. Like I've barely used this. And can you see that massive dent on the front? It's like an imprint. I don't even know how that happened. It's not even the only one on the bag either. Like anywhere it's even slightly touched something has imprinted and marked the leather. It's just like very, very delicate. I'm just not impressed. If you saw me unbox this, you'll know I had a few issues with glue peeling off, the glazing, loose threads, that kind of thing. So yeah, this is definitely my worst bag purchase of 2024, considering it was maybe one of the most expensive bags I've bought. And I just think it's not worth it. I just think I can't even really sell this on now because it's got that massive dent in it. So I'm a little bit gutted about this one, to be honest. And I don't mind as much because I feel like if I can help you guys not purchase a Polene bag and actually purchase from a different brand instead, then I'm kind of doing my job and I'm doing a service at least. My money isn't completely going to waste. But yeah, I just wouldn't recommend this, unfortunately. I'm still going to wear it. I love the shape of it, but the quality is just, it's not there. And I just don't get the hype around Polene. Even now I'm seeing like more glue peeling off it as I look at it, and I get more and more angry every time I look at this bag. So I'm just going to put it away for now. But anyway, let's move on to a best purchase. This is, I think, the penultimate best purchase. And it is also from Alex Mill. I had to include this because I love this so much. I feel like I'm having a slight bias towards items I bought in the second half of the year and items that are autumn winter, because I've just realized I haven't really thought about my summer purchases. But I don't know, I feel like my summer purchases are kind of in the middle. They're not really amazing, but they're also not really awful. They're just kind of fine. So my best and worst purchases and my most divisive purchases tend to be autumn winter or spring purchases. This one I absolutely love, and this is a great example of investing in my actual life and not my fantasy life, because as lovely as it is to buy brown suede bags, in reality, most of the time I am working from home, walking the dog, country walks in general, and I feel like something like this is something I get so much wear out of because of that. It's water resistant, it has that very countryside feel, but I still absolutely love it as much as some of the other pieces, the more dressy pieces in my wardrobe. So I think something I also want to take into 2025 is being realistic about my lifestyle. Whether I actually need the things that I want sometimes. I mean, I don't need any of them, but whether they actually fit into my lifestyle. Heels, suede bags, very fancy dresses, as lovely as they are to lust after and want. The things I actually wear in my day-to-day life are things exactly like this. Things that are practical, things that are appropriate for the countryside. So yeah, this was a great purchase. It's a little bit cold to be wearing it now, but it is an autumn spring jacket and I will wear that every day in the autumn and the spring when I'm walking my dog. Now you may have noticed I haven't actually mentioned many Sézane items in this video, and that is because I already did a video a few weeks ago ranking all of my Sézane purchases from 2024 from worst to best. So if you haven't seen that video, I will leave it linked here because that will explain what I think about all of the Sézane purchases I made this year. So I didn't want to repeat myself too much, but I have been loving my Axel boots, I have been loving my Clyde trench, but I did want to mention a couple of purchases that are really in the worst and best category. The one that is definitely in the worst category is this jacket. This is the Ewan jacket. I've spoken about this and how this was probably a poor purchase on my half, just because as beautiful as it is, it's really hard to wear, and it's another lesson I'm learning. It's similar to the last lesson in that it's just not very realistic for my lifestyle, and this isn't overly dressy, but it's just really hard to know when to wear this and what to wear it with, and it's never quite the right weather, at least where I am, to wear something like this. It's really padded and thick, but it's also quite spring summer feeling, so I just never end up reaching for this. So this is probably a worse purchase, as lovely as it is. And I keep thinking about selling this, but I can't quite bring myself to yet, but maybe I will at some point next year. One of the main reasons that that is actually in the worst purchases category is because of the existence of this jacket. I love this jacket. This is one of my best purchases of the year, which is funny because I'm saying that the other jacket is thick and padded and quilted and makes it really hard to wear. But for some reason, this just doesn't apply to the Renato. I don't quite know why. I think it's the shape of the jackets. It's just completely different in its silhouette. And I find this one much, much easier to wear. And I also prefer the colors and the pattern of this one as well. So I feel like you only need one padded quilted jacket in your life, really, if you're being honest with yourself. And now I have two. There's always going to be one I reach for more, so the other one just gets neglected, which is the main problem, really. But yeah, I do love this Renato jacket. My best Sézane purchase. Well, actually, no, I didn't put it as my best Sézane purchase. I'm completely lying. But in terms of how much I love it, yes, the axle boots and the Clyde trench top it in terms of number of times worn. But in terms of just pure joy that it brings me, this is number one. My final best purchase of the year are these, and these were a bit of a random one, but I have worn these so much and I actually am so pleased with them, pleasantly surprised at how nice they are. These are the Madewell, I think they're the Greta flats. I bought these way back, I think it was in like March, April time, springtime, and I didn't expect them to love them as much as I did, but I completely adore these shoes and I've worn them so much. You can kind of tell from the insides of the shoes how much I've enjoyed wearing them because they're a little bit bruised and battered, but the actual leather on the outside is still really fantastic. It's actually surprisingly good quality considering it is just Madewell. They're not too expensive. You can usually get them on sale or at a discount, and they're really buttery soft. They required no breaking in, really comfortable from the get-go, really easy to wear, really easy to walk in, really practical. They look really cute and delicate on the feet. They are more comfortable, in my opinion, than ballet flats because they have the strap on the foot. I like this slight square toe, love the colour. These also come in 1,000,001 different colours, which makes it really tempting to want another pair, but I've been good so far and resisted buying another colour because you only really need one pair. But they come in velvet, they come in different colours of leather. I think they probably come in burgundy. I think they have patent versions as well. I would highly recommend, if you're looking for a comfortable pair of Mary Jane flats, real leather, that aren't going to break the bank, would recommend those Madewell ones. They're great. And that is it. That's my roundup of all of my best and worst purchases of 2024. Now I've been honest and I've shared my worst purchases, I would like you to share some of yours as well, or your best purchases if you're more comfortable doing that. Let me know down below. What is the best and worst thing you've bought this year? What are you loving and you're so pleased that you bought? What are you really, really regretting and probably looking to sell next year? Have you learned any lessons from these purchases as well about how you're going to shop better in 2025? I would love to hear from you as always. I will also leave my IDYL discount code on screen here if you would like to check that out. All of the pieces I've shown today will be linked in the description box as well as the pinned comment. There will also be some videos here if you would like to continue watching. Otherwise, I hope you're all doing really well and I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye!